Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranat Klesha Nashaye Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiya Mamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to today's Yoga Vashistha Satsang. Blessings to people who are online today. Shankarji, Yogini ji, and Parvati ji. There may be others, and many others will watch later due to timing differences. But may you all be filled with love, light, peace, happiness, joy, good health, prosperity, and internal bliss. This satsang, getting in touch with God and finding who we are, is truly a divine experience for the ones who understand the value. It's a very great grace of God when we are pulled towards satsanga, when many lifetimes fructify of good punyas, good karmas, then we are encouraged to listen, to be in the holy presence of sages and saints, and they convert us from crows into swans. That is the role of a guru, taking us out of darkness and bringing us into light. That is such a blessing, to first have a human body and then to use this tool, instrument, to overcome our obstacles and attain union with God. Very much possible in this very life, but we have to be willing to give our all. So that is the essence. And we are so blessed that we are, week after week, we do so many satsangas, but two on a regular basis, Friday and Sunday. And Swami Lalita Priyananda ji is on Thursday, she does Bhagavatam also. So let us all feel grounded, touch Mother Earth, thank her, thank the water, the fire, the air, the ether, all these elements that are giving themselves selflessly so that we can have a good life, a good human experience. And so we need gratitude, we need gratefulness in our life for all these gifts that are coming to us, that we are enjoying on a regular basis. But in our fast life, we sometimes forget it. We forget to thank Mother Earth for holding the mountains and our house and us and so many things. Nothing happens by chance. Everything is run by the divine plan. Let us pray to God that universal divine energy. Pray to our Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj, and to all sages and saints, to all the scriptures of the world, and to the divinity, to the God in every one of you. We are all that image of God. Some of us know it, some of us don't know it. Some of us are like our Guruji are enlightened, some of us are on that way, and some of us are just beginning the journey. But it's all part of the cosmic circle. Every drop must eventually merge back in the ocean. That is important that we remember that with love, compassion, humility. And that is how we approach that divine energy we call by whatever name we like. Let us pray for happiness for the world, peace in the world, lack of all this stress. May the homeless find a shelter. The hungry, may they find food. The thirsty, may they get water. Wherever there is pain, may God's compassion work and guide them, help them in whatever way possible. And you and I are instruments. All of us are instruments. In our own way, we can light a small candle instead of complaining about darkness. Each of us, we don't have to do big things. We just have to do small things, but with love, with compassion. And that is what we need for our holistic happiness. And we are all one. There is no difference between somebody external and us, although we feel that way. And therefore, we sometimes may be unconcerned or keep on moving in our own way. But in this cosmic plan, it's all one consciousness, one divine energy. So with that prayer for happiness and peace in the world, let us read our Guruji's message for today. These messages are mini satsangas by themselves. They ground us, give us inspiring energy so that we can then get the blessings of the Guru. Without Guru's grace, nothing is possible. So Guru is a living manifestation of God. And when you have an enlightened master in your life, we must have been very blessed to get this great blessing. Through many births, we have evolved over time. It just doesn't happen by chance. So those of you who feel connected and who are enjoying the nectar of the satsang, know that you are all you've been on this journey, but anytime we can slip, mind you. So therefore we have to be always steadfast with a focus, with a mission, like climbing a mountain on a narrow pathway. We slip, there can be mudslides, there can be other problems, and then that would be it. So we have to protect our effort, protect our samadhi, dhyana, our satsang, and do it with sincerity and consistency. That is how we will progress. So Swamiji's message for today, blessed self, adorations. Your ultimate destiny is to become one with the divine self. See, what a beautiful message. Become one with the divine self. Although we think we are different, God is somewhere up high. No, He is within us. He is us. But we have to mature to that level. And thus to enjoy the fullness of bliss and peace. The fullness. There's that mantra we chant. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Meaning this is full. God is full. This world is also full. When you take full out of full, what remains is full. Think of infinity. Anything added to infinity is infinity. Divided by infinity is infinity. Subtracted, same thing. That's why it's called infinity. Cannot be measured beyond all concepts. But the fullness of peace and bliss should be your personal experience. ये आपका अपना प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव होना चाहिए. Your experience. If you are not experiencing peace and bliss, and you are doing elaborate pujas, lots of mantras, you are reading lots of shlokas and reading scriptures, but you are not experiencing peace and bliss, then it is all useless. You're doing it the wrong way. You are misguided. So the peace should come from your own heart. That's your test. That is the proof. You don't need anybody else to tell you that. When you sleep like a baby, you wake up refreshed. That is your proof. What more proof do you need? You were tired and now you are refreshed. Much in the same way, the satsanga should progress in this manner. Lot of us do things mechanically. So much information today on YouTube, on Facebook, here, there. It can drive you crazy. So therefore, select one place, find rest, and dig deep. If you dig 1 feet here, 1 feet there, 6 inches here, no water will come anywhere. You will remain thirsty only. So if you want to progress, find the spot that touches your heart and then stick there. That is the answer. Swamiji says, find the fullness of peace and bliss. If you were to center your life around the fulfillment of your spiritual destiny, your life would be automatically filled with success. So, which means have a primary focus in your life. Know who you are and what do you want. The problem is, so many people don't know what they want. I'm bored. What does that mean? I'm bored. How could you be bored? Time is so short. Human life is transient, running away. Every minute is precious. So if we are bored and we don't know what to do, that simply means we don't have a purpose in life yet. We are still caught in the trap of the world process. So if you have a purpose, what is that purpose? Knowing that God is your destiny. This is not just a buzzword, God, God, generate, operate. This cosmic plan, we are instruments in that cosmic plan. And we have the ability to connect back. हमारे पास वो सामर्थ्य है कि हम उस भगवान की सत्ता को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, पर प्रयास हमको करना है. We have to do that self-effort to reach there. So when our goal becomes one-pointed, then our life is automatically filled with success, prosperity, and all that is good in the world. Think about that. The same person can look down and see roaches and insects and dirty water, or he can look up and look at the vast sky, the cosmic stars, the heavenly sun. And all that depends on our outlook in life. So when we have a positive outlook, we will understand the purpose. So practice a harmonious blend of action, devotion, meditation, and reflection in your daily life. So every day we have to do some karma yoga, selfless service, bhakti, devotion, dhyana, meditation, and jnana, study of scriptures, knowledge. And this holistic process is called integral yoga. Thus the name of our not-for-profit, Integral Yoga Foundation. Integral means integrated. So therefore, we bring all these little things in our life and do it with love and consistency. Put forth sustained effort to attain self-realization. This is the direct command from the Master. Put forth sustained effort. Don't give up. Rest if you must, but then shake off your laziness, get up and start walking on this journey, because otherwise we will leave, we come empty-handed, we go empty-handed. Khali haath aaye, khali haath chale, right? We know that. Yet in that process, we get so caught up, so much of he said this, she said this, I want this. But in the end, what happens? So, if you want mukti, yadi mukti chahte ho, mukti means never coming back to the cycle of birth and death, no more embodiments, forever terminating this perpetual journey of pain. You attain that by mukti, and then that comes through divine grace, your guru's grace, and your own self effort. जब आप उस मार्ग पर मेहनत करते हैं तो बहुत कल्याण होता है. When you sincerely put in your effort, then the divine energy also blesses you in abundance. But sustained is the key word. We cannot do it for a little while and then forget it, then pick it up again, then forget it. No, every day. Niyamit, niyam, that's what niyama means. Niyam means a routine, daily routine. Just like we shower every day, we eat food every day, we brush our teeth every day. Nobody questions that. Why do we have to do it every day? So, to keep your good hygiene, you have to do it. Much in the same way, to improve spiritually, we have to do that. So this is the message for today. Very profound. So have one goal, liberation. Instead of having a million other different desires, have one desire and then let everything converge into that one big desire of self-realization. And then that process is called integrating. Hari Om Tat Sat. So let us chant our Kirtan together, followed by our Yoga Vashistha lecture. Hari Om. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Mam, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Raksha Mam, Sharvana Bhava, Sharvana Bhava, Sharvana Bhava, Pahi Mam, Kartikeya, 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 Raksha Mam, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Pahi Mam, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati Rakshamam. Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hari Guru Ram, Jagat Guru Param Guru Sadguru Sham, Adi Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om, Chid Guru Chid Ghana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om, Jagat Guru Om Guru Satchitananda, Shankaracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda, Shankaracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda, Shankaracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva 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 Shivaya Nama Om. Hare 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Anjaneya, 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 Pahi Mam. Hanumanta, 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 Raksha Mam. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Pahi Mam. Brahma Shakti, Vishnu Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Raksha Mam. Adi Shakti, Maha Shakti, Para Shakti, Pahi Mam. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Raksha Mam. Ganga Rani, Ganga Rani, Ganga Rani, Pahi Mam. Bhagirathi, 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 Raksha Mam. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari, Hari Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om. So let us continue our journey on this beautiful scripture, Yoga Vashistha. We are in Nirvana Prakarana, which is in the concluding stages. And today we will be picking up section 104. Sorry, it is section 102. We had completed section 101. The vision of non-duality bestows fearlessness last Friday. Today, it's a beautiful section, characteristics of a sage. Sage is a guru, an enlightened soul, an advanced teacher who has experienced this journey. So we will be studying about those characteristics that we are aspiring to become. All of us, we can work one day at a time, enjoying the journey slowly, emulating these sages and saints, trying to imbibe their life in our daily life. And that is how we benefit. So this is the same thing in Bhagavad Gita also. Arjuna asked Krishna in chapter 2, what are the characteristics of a sage, O great one, O Lord Krishna? How does he sit? How does he walk? How does he talk? In other words, how does a sage feel? What, in other words, we are trying to understand, how will we be different after enlightenment? What is the process of enlightenment? How do these sages feel after they get it? And therefore, the way for us to understand, हम कैसे समझेंगे? जब हम उनके लक्षणों को पहचानेंगे. When we understand the characteristics of these sages, because externally, we all look the same. बाहर से देखने में वही रहेंगे. Even enlightened people get sick. Even they get old, they die, they feel hungry, they go through ups and downs in life just like most of us. So then how to recognize a sage? Shri Vashistha continued, one who knows the self becomes the best of persons. So every week, so many satsangas of our life we are putting on this project. The ultimate goal is to know the self. After all, we are doing this for our self-interest, and that interest is to know who we really are. Hamari Atma kya hai? That is, and once we know that, we become the best of persons. An enlightened sage, in other words. Even the stones of the forest become his friends. Even trees become his dear relatives and fawns become his children. So आपको समझना होगा कि किस दृष्टि से ये बोला जा रहा है. It's not just superficial. In other words, that sage has now become part of the cosmic consciousness. जब वो ब्रह्मांडीय शक्ति से जुड़ जाते हैं तो सब कुछ एक जैसा ही प्रतीत होता है. Everything appears as their own self. He neither delights in union with friends and relatives, nor is he affected by grief at their separation. Very easily said. How hard to do, isn't it? Most human beings are overly joyed and elated and throw parties when some happy occasion is there. And the minute something unfortunate, tragic happens, then our whole world is split apart. तो खुशी और दुख के बीच में हम लोग धक्के खाते रहते हैं, कभी यहाँ कभी वहाँ. We are always experiencing this extremes, the yo-yo effect between the joys, delights, and then, but in this case, the sage, to him it makes no difference whether an enemy comes and fights with him or a friend comes and greets him. Practically, they will maintain their conversation accordingly, all that. But inwardly, there is no hatred for the enemy and love for the friend. So, which means it is all part of the same self. He communes with the universal self, universal life in the self. सो जो ये ब्रह्मांडीय शक्ति है, जो ईश्वर है, जो जीवन है, ये सब उसी शक्ति का स्वरूप है. Everything then becomes the same. Though living in a city crowded with people, he enjoys the solitude of the Himalayan valleys. सोचिए, न्यूयॉर्क सिटी में आपको हिमालय का अनुभव हो जाएगा. But we have to get to that state. Otherwise, man changa to katvat mein ganga avise. When you are pure, you are sincere, then your bathtub itself becomes Ganges water. But if you are not pure, if your mind is polluted with the worldly things, desires, even the holy places, what significance do they have? You go there, you take a dip, then you forget all about it. So therefore, serious, enlightened sages, they enjoy the solitude wherever they are. They don't have to go to the forest. Every place is a Vrindavan. Even adversity seems as prosperity to him. Think about that for a minute. The minute we experience something uncomfortable, we want it to go away immediately. A little headache is enough to shake us off. But here, that sage looks at everything as part of the divine plan. Even adversity, he says, "Dukh mein sukh mein mere pritam, teri ichha puran ho. Tum hi sab kuch janat pritam, tum hi sab kuch janat ho." Which means, oh God, whether you are going to give me happy moments or sad moments or difficult times, adversity or prosperity, may thy will be done, oh God. Thy will is more important than my personal will. So if you are giving it to me, there has to be some reason why I am encountering this prarabdha. Even sages and saints, although their sanchita karma, accumulated storehouse of karma from many embodiments, is all burnt up, they will no longer take birth. Already they have become Jivan Mukta at that stage. But yet the prarabdha karma, the potter's wheel that is in motion, has now, it has to continue a few more circles till it stops. Just like the fan, When you turn it on, it rotates at a very fast speed. And then when you turn it off, there is no more power in it. But due to the velocity and the speed, it is slowly slowing down. So it will take some time to completely be totally shut off. Much in the same way, the sages and saints have to go through their prarabdha karma. That is why so many saints struggle. They have cancer, they die. Look at what Christ had to go through, nailed by people, and he still forgave them at the end. So different sages and saints experience their prarabdha very differently. But to them, it makes no difference because they are not this limited body. See? So, those speaking eloquently on spiritual matters, a sage is ever immersed in inner silence. So, what do sages and saints do? They use their time very wisely. For the benefit of the world, they talk, use examples, do this, do that. But then after that is over, they are back to that joyful source where they see God in everything. And therefore they enjoy that bliss. Because they have pierced that veil, which is called the ajnana, the ignorance, the veil of ignorance that keeps everybody else attracted to the world. They have pierced it. So for them, there is no world, so to speak. Though performing dynamic activities in promoting wisdom and understanding in mankind, he is the non-doer self in his inward consciousness. Like Swami Shivananda, Jyotirmayananda, all these saints, they have written so many 70 books. Swamiji has written, Swami Shivananda wrote over 300 books. And yet he was always in bliss and peace and always in action, but always in inaction internally. So it's an art. Though experiencing the objects of the world, he is inwardly detached from them. That is the difference. We don't have to, if you are doing something, this is why we say we don't have to leave our homes or don't have to throw away our possessions. You can have nothing and still be attached to the desires. Or you can have everything and still be detached. But we have to use a practical, healthy blend. Use common sense. So we need internal detachment. Internally, if something happens, our world should not shake apart. If something happens to one of our possessions, किसी वस्तु को यदि क्षति पहुंचे तो हमको उसके लिए बहुत दुख नहीं करना चाहिए. जब ये शरीर ही क्षण भंगुर है, when this body itself is transient, what to speak of these little things here, there? But yet it hurts. So this is the difference between worldly people and enlightened people. They're inwardly detached. Though devoid of attachment, he is the very fountain source of pure love towards all his near and dear relatives, as well to all living beings. See, what is the difference? For most worldly people, their circle of life is their wife, their child, their immediate family, their close friends, or whoever they like. But who they dislike, they don't want to look at. The world is separate from them. Whereas for sages and saints, everyone is full of divinity. They see God in bad people, in good people, in families, foes. Practically, you will maintain realities, but inwardly we are talking here. So he sees the self as the only reality behind different names and forms. तो ये important है हम इस बात को समझें important we understand this, that externally what appears is not what is happening inside the sage. जो बाहर से दिखता है वो संत का स्वरूप नहीं है. He doesn't go through what you are seeing externally. Therefore, he loves all without being restricted by egoistic illusions. Why? Because ego, mind, intellect, they have all dissolved into the Atman or the self. For the sage. For us, worldly people, we will have we have to go also, they have also passed through the same valleys we are crossing through now, except that they have reached the destination and we are on that journey. But we will also, if our resolve is firm, then every serious aspirant will make significant progress. This is why they say, Bad Bhagi Manav Tan Pava. We are so blessed to have this human body, and through this we can attain enlightenment. So, sages and saints have pierced that ego. उस अहंकार को नष्ट भ्रष्ट कर दिया है साधु संतों ने. लेकिन हम लोगों के लिए वो अहंकार बहुत भारी रोल प्ले करता है. उसने मुझको ऐसे बोला, उसने ऐसे किया, he said this, she said this, today this happened, that happened. The illusion of the world makes it so strong, so real, that we forget the true purpose. And this is Maya. यही तो माया है. और माया क्या है? Maya means the mist, the illusion, where we forget the reality from fact. What appears real is actually unreal, and what you cannot see is actually real. And that is the mystery. A sage is not frightened by anyone, nor does he cause fright in anyone. तो जो संत हैं वो भयभीत नहीं होते, because what can the worldly people do to the saint? Maximum they will kill him, they will hang him like they did to Christ or whatever, but they become even stronger. After his crucifixion, Christ became much stronger, isn't it? Because now so many people followed that. They learn. Same thing about Buddha, Krishna, Rama. So many divinities come and they go. So fear should not be one of the signs of a serious spiritual aspirant. Even if the whole world is ablaze, if you are sincere, your Guru and God will protect you. Jako rakhe saiya mari sake na koe, bal na baka kar sake, jo jag bairi hoye. What does that mean? To those who are protected by God, Jako rakhe saiya mari sake. No one can kill that person if he is under the protection of God's umbrella. And God and Guru, same, no difference. Because Guru, this is why Gurus are ambassadors of God. They are doing God's work. Therefore, they are sanctioned by God. Because such people are very rare on this planet Earth. Real Gurus, true Gurus, who only want to enlighten people. Everybody else is running after name, fame, money, this, that. But someone who understands the value of enlightenment, it cannot be measured by money, by name, by fame, by big things, this, that. Because all this is transient, you see. ये सब क्षण भंगुर है, कुछ साथ नहीं जाता है. Nothing will go with us, not even the eye of a broken needle. Nothing can go. So therefore, lead a practical life, do what you need to do, but overly attachment to things is going to bind you to the world. So therefore, learn that nothing is mine, you say. So he does not become elated with any development, nor does he expect any object in the future. What can you give a sage who is enlightened? So many bodies come and go. कितना शरीर आया, कितना शरीर चला गया. You are not this. Suddenly you have appeared in this time space continuum now. You are a product of perpetual progress, infinite progress, millions of lives, and you will continue to evolve. हमारा ये प्रगति होता रहेगा. और कब तक होता रहेगा? जब तक हम मुक्त नहीं हो जाएंगे. Till we get liberated, we will continue. But the good news is that God continues to bless us on this journey, and therefore wherever we have reached in our next life, we start from there. You don't go back, you don't go backwards. So therefore we should say the more effort we do now, the better it is, because you may attain enlightenment if your resolve is strong enough in this very life. इसी जन्म में ही मुक्ति संभव है, लेकिन आपका संकल्प शुद्ध होना चाहिए. You should have a very strong inclination, and then you have to work accordingly also. Otherwise, but wherever you left, suppose Yog Bhrasht, there is a word in Gita, Bhagavad Gita में ये शब्द आता है, Yog Bhrasht. Bhrasht means destroyed. So you were a yogi, and then you reached a certain level, and then you became Yog Bhrasht. You died, for example, or you got distracted, or somebody threw you off your pedestal, your sadhana went away, you couldn't do it anymore. In other words, you didn't achieve the end goal in this body. Arjuna asked that question in Bhagavad Gita. And what did God say? He said, don't fear, my child. Let me tell you, Yog Bhrasht, you will be born as an advanced sadhak, because you were advanced, but some obstacle came in. And therefore, you will be born in a holy place, in a sage's house, or in a very affluent home where there is a lot of spirituality already. So therefore, you don't have to work for your food, your clothing, your shelter. All that is taken care of. All you have to do is do your sadhana, or you will be born as a child of an enlightened sage, and you will very quickly, you will progress and attain enlightenment. So that is called Yog Bhrasht. Different categories, of course, but the highest of the sadhakas are born as sages and saints through their, so they may be living in it's not material prosperity, mind you. Some of them are born in a saint's hut, which means no money, no resources, no nothing, but the spiritual wealth is so powerful, so beautiful, that it takes them out of this world process and liberates them. So this word Yog Bhrasht is very deep. So every satsang we all attend is cutting the grooves deeper and deeper into spirituality. So it's a tapasya. But when that tapasya starts becoming joyful, where we start enjoying that journey, we should all know that it's a great blessing from God and our Guru, who has brought us to this state of humility, love, and compassion. So he's the fountain source of pure love towards all. All meaning whether it's my relative or it's somebody else. He looks at them with love. He sees the self as the only reality behind different names and forms. So he doesn't look at, you are from my country, you speak my language, you are from this, that, chromosome 23, this, that. So here what happens, all that is okay for curiosity, we do for our body level, and what are my roots and this, that. The real root is God. That's the real root. That's the source we have come from, you see. And wahi hamara adhar hai. So they only see the self. वो सब में आत्मा को देखते हैं. कौन? गुरु, जीवन मुक्त संत. वो सब में ये नहीं देखते कि he is tall, he is small, he is rich, he is poor, he is big, he is this, he's African, he's American. They don't look at all that. They look at the soul, Atma, and that Atma is pure. Therefore, he loves all without being restricted by egoistic illusions. So, kuch ahankar nahi rehta. There is no ego in a saint. And if he has ego, then he is not enlightened yet. Very simple. A sage is not frightened by anyone, nor does he cause fright. So no fear, no nothing. So pleasure and pain he is devoid of. तो कुछ दर्द नहीं है, कुछ खुशी नहीं है. Those things will come and go at the body level, and he just looks at them as waves of the ocean. A happy wave, a sad wave, a papa wave, a mama wave. They'll all continue on and on. The journey does not end. उसका अंत नहीं आता है. तो क्या होता है फिर? यही होता है कि आत्मा में शांति रहता है, और ये सब ocean is calm, but the edges of the ocean is a lot of agitation. तो वहां पर तो ये एक के बाद एक लहर आती रहती, the waves. So while appearing happy or sorrowful during the alternating conditions of pleasure and pain, a sage is ever established in the bliss of the self. So we can't even properly understand that experience, isn't it? Till you eat the food, how can you say whether it is delicious or it is not good? A picture of food cannot help you. And this is exactly our experience. ये हमारा अपना प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव है कि जब तक हम उसको खाकर नहीं बता पाएंगे, तब तक हमारे लिए कोई उसका फायदा नहीं है. So therefore we say Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. Listening, first step of the Satsanga. Manan, reflection, second step of the Satsanga. And then Nididhyasan, meditation, contemplation, meditation, the final step of the Satsanga. So therefore, each Satsanga should be followed by Manan and Nididhyasan. Whatever energy or good thing you like from it, you take it, then you become like a cud chewing animal. Have you seen cows and buffaloes? They eat the grass, the fresh glistening grass, and then they eat quickly. But then when they are sitting in their shelter or wherever in their cow shed, they then take it out of their udar, their stomach, and gently chew on it and enjoy it. Much in the same way, we go through this satsang, we cover so many things, but then you take a few things and you enjoy that, contemplate on that. How does a saint feel when we say, while appearing happy or sorrowful? See, practical things will not change. He will have pain in the body. When it pain, body is an external, just like your car has a problem with the alternator or with the engine or with the brakes. You cannot then reliably drive that car. You need to get it fixed. So much in the same way, the body is the body. It will create pain and all that, and all those things have to be taken care of. But he is ever inwardly, he is established in the bliss of the self. He now looks at his body as we look at a car. If something happens to the car, it gets destroyed. We don't get destroyed, do we? If we are outside, somebody else took that car and it's gone, so what? You're okay. Much in the same way, the death that comes to these sages and saints they have already flown away. They are not in that car, they are not in that body. So he shares the grief as well as the joys of others, though devoid of the illusions of pleasure and pain. So all this they do is Maya. ये सब माया का जाल है. But they are beyond Maya. Gunatitam. Therefore, like an immutable mountain, he endures all conditions of joy and sorrow. So, in other words, सृष्टि नहीं बदलती, दृष्टि बदलती है. फिर से, सृष्टि नहीं बदलती, दृष्टि बदलती है. In Hindi, in English, what does it mean? The world will continue to remain the same. What will change? Your outlook towards it. Sages and saints are also sitting in the same world where you and I are sitting. They are also experiencing the same pain and pleasure as we are. Why are they revered? Why are they enlightened and we are not? Because we are caught in the trap of illusion and they have broken that cycle of illusion. Therefore, life and death gets terminated for them. For us, it's perpetual because this is our reality. We live in the same world. And yet we have different outlook, and that comes through anubhav, through tapasya. So we can't just, it's not a laddu you just go and eat. We have to earn it with our effort, with our tapasya, with our meditation, with our thought process. The best of the gurus cannot enlighten you. But you need him, mind you. He will show you the path. He will show you the way. He will tell you what to do, what not to do, what's good for you, what's bad for you. But you have to do it. सबसे अच्छा डॉक्टर, महंगा, बेस्ट डॉक्टर, आपका सर्जरी भी कर देगा. उसके बाद वो बोलेगा ये डाइट है, ये करना, ये नहीं करना. हाँ, do this, don't do this. But to do or not to do is up to you. So many people who are diabetic die, their organs get cut off because they cannot give up their sense control. Happens. You all know it happens. So therefore, to do or not to do is up to you. Action is power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. So knowledge is what? That there is a pit ahead of me and I will fall. So who shows you that? The Guru shows you that. Do this, otherwise you will fall in the pit. Many people will fall into it, those who don't listen. But to fall or not to fall is up to you. You may be arrogant, you say, I don't care. देखी जाएगी, देखेंगे क्या होता है. तो ठीक है, then that is the journey you're on. So this is how this process of sages and their guidance works. There is no utopian answer for anybody. We all have to earn our own process. But for them, for sages and saints themselves, they are beyond joy and sorrow. Externally waves are coming, all that is happening. Inwardly they watch it as the leela. वो सब ये लीला के रूप में देखते हैं. Ignorant persons are ever drowning in a river of sorrow. तो जो अज्ञानी हैं वो हर चीज में ही दुखी रहते हैं, कंप्लेन करते रहते हैं. Ignorant people who are attached to the world, who think they are the body, for them this is their only reality, isn't it? The world is their only reality. So therefore, if somebody comes and says something mean, now for 3 nights their sleep is gone. How do I damage him? What should I tell him? How should I hurt him back? And for a saint, he just simply laughs and he moves on. So, sorrows are plentiful everywhere. Dukh sab jagah hai. Nanak dukhiya sab sansara, so sukhiya jo naam adhara. So, Guru Nanak ji says, this world is full of sorrow and misery. So sukhiya jo naam adhara. So the person who chants the divine name and connects himself with God is truly the only one who is happy. A sage, however, is ever immersed in the cooling stream of divine wisdom. Divine wisdom, because he has now found that fountain source of perpetual bliss. Just like you enjoy your deep sleep state. And this is nothing new. Each of you, every night you sleep, some of you get dreams, and then you fall into deep sleep also, where you don't know anything. You say, I don't know anything. हमें कुछ नहीं पता क्या हुआ. तो वो जो deep sleep state है, that state of deep sleep is how these sages and saints feel while walking, talking, eating, cooking, talking to children, giving lectures, doing dynamic work in the world. That is their inner condition at all times. Although their reaction to things may be different, just like when you're driving, when there is a red light, you have to stop the car. When it's on a highway, you go fast. So much in the same way, they are interacting in the world like that, but अंदर से वो एकदम शांत हैं. Their inner consciousness, there is no dispute. Total peace. So, even when a person practices these qualities hypocritically, he should not feel spurned. This is very important. So for initial aspirants or people who have not done this consistently, then even if you are imitating a saint, just copying him, trying to meditate, but mind is jumping like a monkey, the advice here from Vashistha Muni is, it's a beautiful thing, continue. Don't hesitate in doing good things. Hesitate in doing wrong, bad, unethical, wrong things. Don't do them. But for good things, quickly do them. What harm can you get in a satsanga? If you attend, something good may come out of it. So therefore, don't feel that, oh, he's so advanced. If I'm starting like this, is it okay? Not okay. Don't think, just jump into it. Slowly you will start to learn. He will eventually discover the essential glory of the self. Remember, a sinner is a saint in the making. याद रखिए, जो एक पापी है, वो एक साधुवाद की तरफ प्रगति कर रहा है. Ratnakar, Sage Valmiki was a dacoit, a murderer, highway robber. And when Sage Narada came, his whole life changed. So when satsanga will come and touch you, in what way, nobody knows. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhyate girim. So that when that happens, all kinds of auspiciousness will come to you. So that we should remember and always be in that state of bliss. Be thankful to the divine plan, that divine energy. So, no one can delude a sage by outward expressions of simulated virtues. So, imitating qualities of a sage is very good, it's desirable, and then slowly we will take root. Just like a small seedling, how it is so tiny, and yet it sprouts and slowly it gains strength and it becomes a mighty tree one day. Much in the same way, this should continue, satsanga should continue, and then we try to ask questions from these advanced teachers about our experience. Genuinely, humbly. However, no one can delude a sage by outward expressions of simulated virtues. So don't think that we can fool a sage by showing very nice behavior, by taking expensive gifts, money, this, that, fruits, Swamiji for you, all that people do. But the most thing the advanced sages want is true love. Simulated virtues are of no value because they are not real. So try converting true love. So many people are good at acting. They will do the best of acting, but inwardly, nothing. So a sage is capable of understanding the secrets of all. Mind you, we are talking about enlightened sages, a true guru who will give you mukti, enlightenment. So very few in this world. That level of gurus are very, very, very few. And those gurus, they understand what's going on in your mind. Even before you sit, they will know what is bothering, what's going on, what is the problem. They will. So therefore, we should assume we don't have any clothes in front of our guru. Just like you don't take your clothes off in front of people. When you are alone, you can do. In your shower, you have to. So much in the same, in front of your doctor, you have to. The doctor will give you an annual exam. Do you want it or not? So if you want it, you have to remove all your clothes. Much in the same way, when you talk to your guru, you have to remove all your inhibitions, curtains of veils, and then hesitations. They all have to go. Sincerely, you have to talk to the guru. These days, so many things people keep on layering, hiding, all that. But a true guru will know the secrets. Though possessing the treasure of treasure in the form of self-realization, a sage does not declare it to the masses. Think about it. We get just few things in life and we feel so good about it. I bought this expensive car, I bought this expensive house, I did this. Do you know what he did? Do you know what she did? And we are lost in that. Here, the sage has attained mukti. Self-realization has already been achieved. And yet he does not declare it to the masses. He doesn't tell anybody. Why doesn't he tell anybody, bhai? Because this is a matter of experience. It's not to be advertised. And you cannot even express it through these limited senses. सोचो, क्या एक लहर समुद्र को अपने अंदर डाल सकती है? No, it's the ocean through which the waves are coming. But if the wave itself thinks I'm the ocean, it may want to think that, but it doesn't know what a real ocean is. Much in the same way, in our little ego centers, little human beings, we create so much. But sages, even after attaining enlightenment, will never, if anybody tells you, by the way, anybody tells you I'm an enlightened sage, run away. That cannot be enlightened. He doesn't know. Because how can you empty an ocean with a little straw? Our body is not capable of expressing that. It has to come through a divine experience. A person who possesses costly diamonds does not approach the village folk to sell it. Beautiful example, isn't it? So when you have that attainment of mukti, self-realization, liberation, then that you will only find few people, थोड़े से ही लोग उस जगह पर मिलेंगे. You go in a fish market, lots of people. Sabzi mandi mein, tomatoes, this, that, lots of people. But if you have to buy expensive diamonds, then you have to go to the right place and have enough money in your pocket, isn't it, to buy that. Much in the same way, that currency is our self-effort, our connection with our guru. So this has to be deeply understood. Otherwise, surface level, so many satsangs are going on, so many people are talking, everything is on YouTube, we keep changing channels here, there. But instead of changing channels, let's think about changing our life. We are the problem, not these different levels of education here, there, but going deep into it and getting something. There is no object on earth or in the heavens which can tempt a sage. Think about it. We get tempted by nose, smells, eyes, looks, ears, hear, tongue, tastes, touch, feels. And therefore we are always excited about different levels of experience. Therefore, when you take sannyas, the first thing the Guru gives you is called Prayasi mantra. Om Bhu Sanyastam Maya, Om Bhuvah Sanyastam Maya, Om Suvah Sanyastam Maya, which means I give the pleasure of this body, the senses, and the inner feelings, mind, ego, intellect, all that is understanding, all that is given to the feet of the Guru, that I will not run after these transient things. So therefore it's an agreement between you and Guru at the time of sannyas. He will do his part, you have to do yours. Therefore, this is a very difficult path, not for everybody. So sannyas should not be for everybody, because most people have to succeed in doing whatever they are doing. You can be a mental sannyasi, you can be leading a married, happy life, and also be very pure. That's perfectly fine. So, the entire world is like a straw before his mighty vision for a sage. This world, he has no meaning. He has given up the heaven. The pleasures of the heaven, the sage has already given up. So Indrahood, he does not want. He doesn't want to enjoy the pleasures of the heaven. What does he want? He only wants enlightenment, because in that process is everything included. Otherwise, no. So he may dwell in a city or in a cave. So we should never judge a sage by his looks, by his house, by his money, by his talking, by his walking, by his demeanor. None of that. If you are sincere, then it should be your head on his lotus feet. That's it. Shashtang Dandvat Pranam. And that's the only way of being sincere, with heart, purity of heart, and the effort also, not just bodily. What difference does it make? It doesn't make a difference to the Guru whether we do Shashtang Dandvat Pranam or not. It's to improve ourselves, to give us, to earn by touching his holy feet, where the Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati reside, where so much knowledge is coming out of. We just want a little, we want to be that dust particle, you see. He may fly in the air by psychic powers, or he may walk on the earth. Siddhi bhi ho sakta hai. Ye sab hai. These people, saints, can walk on water or not walk on water. It doesn't matter. That is not the criteria though. Siddhis, which means these psychic powers, that is not the way to accelerate in spirituality. The way to accelerate is through your peace, through happiness, through that joy that you experience. He may expound the Vedas or remain absorbed in silence. So that sage who has attained enlightenment, he may choose to be Brahmanishth Brahmashrotriya, like our Guru, and how he is training us now, where we are also now, this is Brahmashrotriya, we are expounding on the wisdom of the scriptures, and then Brahmanishth means established in Brahman. So there are sages and saints in the Himalayas living in small huts and caves. God provides for them their food, somehow it arrives. I have been in India over the 3 months. I've met many such sannyasis who have so much faith that somehow the food comes through God's plan to them. They don't have to go run. They are sitting in a cave. And out of them, few may be enlightened, not all of them, but few of them who are enlightened. For them, it makes no difference where they are, what they have to do. Others may be walking on that journey, but that's a very high state. But even higher is the one who can also guide others, take them with him, what he is enjoying, which is what you see the picture of our Guruji in the back on that wonderful, his journey. Over 7 decades of tapasya go into it. So it's not just a fly-by-night operation, do something and get some name and fame and write some book here, there. That's not what we call spirituality. See, it's your life. So he is immersed in the transcendental self. तो वो गुरु जो है वो आत्म में विभोर है. He is enjoying the journey within. He is enjoying that nectar within. उसके अंदर से उसको आनंद है. And then he is sharing that joy with one and all. और सबसे वो फिर share कर रहे हैं. He is the very embodiment of Brahman. Jivan Mukta, meaning to know Brahman. Again, very important to understand this. To know Brahman is to become Brahman. That's the only way we will know Brahman. Brahman meaning cosmic consciousness, your Atma, yourself, you. So when you are there, then there is no difference between a Krishna, a Buddha, a God, Jesus. All these people, they may have had a lot of name and fame, but eventually you become that also. There is no difference. When a drop falls into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. And a lot of people forget that, you see. They think, oh, he's like this, that, that. So anybody who's outside of that cannot be enlightened. Otherwise, you cannot, can that drop now come back and say, sorry, I changed my mind. I don't want to go in the ocean? Too late. You're already the ocean now. And whether you drink one drop of nectar, one drop, or the whole ocean, what does nectar do? Make you perpetual, everlasting, no death. So that is the state. So desire for that one drop. Do not be greedy to want the whole ocean. He is the very embodiment of Brahman. This point needs to be understood very deeply, that this is the journey. Just like when we say that's the North Star, once you know where the North Star is, you know all your directions. Much in the same way, when you say, this is my goal, then all the little things to achieve that goal start helping you on that path. So, O Rama, an enlightened sage welcomes adverse conditions such as poverty, condemnation by the masses, and lack of respect and recognition from others. Can you imagine this? Think about it. What happens to an ordinary person the minute somebody criticizes, the minute somebody says something that you don't like, the minute adversity strikes you, the minute we lose some money, or somebody doesn't give us due respect? But for these enlightened sages and saints, they could care less, because they have already understood this world is not real. Sansar satya hai hi nahi. Their adversities are prosperity for him, because he's able to exercise his inner transcendence in its fullest measure. What happens? Because they say, okay, good, you are giving me this difficult time, thank you, because now I can stay in bliss a little bit more, little bit longer, because they come out to help us. Suppose you want to help somebody, he doesn't want your help, what would you do? Will you force him? You cannot. Somebody is not hungry, can you force them to eat? No. So much in the same way, when these conditions come to them, they all look at that as a divine plan and they move on. The ignorant are desirous of being worshipped. Ignorant is the word. So when we run after name, fame, money, material, nothing wrong, by the way, with these things. But to have that as your goal means that you are being stuck more and more in the world process. The bigger your head, the bigger the headache, isn't it? So we run after all these things and then we wonder, why are we not happy? Why are we not peaceful? Why am I not finding this, that? So we are the problem. We have created these traps. So the ignorant, if they are running after popularity, A sage has nothing to gain by the recognition of the masses, you see. They don't care whether somebody recognizes them, gives them a big award that they have done this, they have done that. We just read it. They can be sitting in Himalayan caves and be enlightened, or they may be doing it at a very small level. All it takes is one candle to remove the darkness in that area, you see. So they do it with love and compassion, nothing to gain from the illusion. It's like this life itself is an illusion. Eventually everybody has to depart, whether you are rich or poor, big or small, African or Indian, we all have to go. So therefore, the psychic powers of all these things are worthless before the boundless bliss experienced by a sage. So जो आनंद उन साधु संतों को अपने अंदर से आता है, which means they become a peace manufacturing entity. There is no end to peace that comes out of their heart, and it is perpetual, overflowing. Everybody gets it. That's why people who come in the aura of a sage also find bliss and happiness, because it's overflowing. Through that sage, it's now flowing to the people who are around him. That is the blessing. And many questions get answered from that sage, even without asking. So many questions are not even asked. You sit in front of a sage and you find the answers. Why? Because even at the silence level, that powerful vibration is calming you down, answering everything. So with this, we conclude our satsang for today, and we will continue this journey next Friday. And this was very profound, because this is how we all want to be. We want to emulate that sage. It's a good thing. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let us do Aarti together, and then we will conclude our satsang for today. Hari Om. जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक, विघ्न विनायक श्री गणेशा। जय जय आरती सुब्रह्मण्य, सुब्रह्मण्य कार्तिकेया। जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला, वेणुगोपाला वेणुलोला। पाप विदुरा नवनीत चोरा। जय जय आरती वेंकटरमणा, वेंकटरमणा संकट हरणा। सीतारामा राधे श्यामा। जय जय आरती गौरी मनोहर, गौरी मनोहर भवानी शंकर। सांबा सदाशिव उमा महेश्वर। जय जय आरती राजराजेश्वरी, राजराजेश्वरी त्रिपुर सुंदरी। महाकाली, महालक्ष्मी, महासरस्वती, महाशक्ति। जय जय आरती आंजनेया, आंजनेया हनुमंता। जय जय आरती दत्तात्रेया, दत्तात्रेया त्रिमूर्ति अवतारा। जय जय आरती शैनेश्वराया, शैनेश्वराया भास्कराया। जय जय आरती सद्गुरुनाथा, सद्गुरुनाथा शिवानंदा। सद्गुरुनाथा ज्योतिर्मयानंदा। सद्गुरुनाथा साई बाबा। जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक। न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम, नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयम् अग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वविदं विभाति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Hari Om Tat Sat to all of you beautiful divine souls. And I see Priya ji is also here, Roshni ji, Roop Ronita ji, Shriram ji. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. And also on Zoom, we always have Parvati ji and Aaron. So God bless you all. If anybody has any questions, either now or later, you can always send them on Messenger. And if you need any guidance, personal guidance, one-to-one talk, this is the whole purpose of our life, of all of us. So don't hesitate, just send me a message. If not, we conclude our satsang for today. May you all be happy, blissful, and may our Guru's blessings reach each of you, and may we continue to advance on this holy journey together. And we will see you on Sunday on Bhagavad Gita from the temple, Shiva Vishnu temple. Hari Om Tat Sat. May you all be happy, blissful, and peaceful. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.